Hi everyone, I'm Dicken and I'm with Robot Overlord Games, and today we wanted to tell you a little bit about a title that we have running up towards a public test. So we want to introduce today Easy Money. This is a game that's being developed by us at Robot Overlord Games, and the team working on it is myself, Dicken, and Heather Decker-Davis. Heather is our artist and our designer. It's her concept that we're working on, whereas I'm supplying some of the AI know-how behind some of the techniques that we're using, and also driving some of the gameplay programming. So the question is, what is easy money? And what we're really wanting to get into is the trade-off between players progressing through a level and having a score and recording a high score. Um, and in order to do that, we're using a lot of procedural content generation. Now, I'll just show you this in action. So if we go up here and we click to start the game, so just a quick note that these high scores are tied into our Facebook profiles. So the game, although it's a web game, it is Facebook aware. So we go to start the game, and instantly we can see that we're in a bit of a maze sort of thing. We start out in a beige kind of room, and we are this little bubble character, and the bubble can move around. And then you move into this first room, and there is cash floating on the screen there. So we'll pick up the cash, and as we can see in the top left, our funds have increased. Funds is essentially the score. What we also maybe noticed is that the bubble has grown bigger. And we've got this green arrow. The green arrow is pointing to the end of the level. So what we're going to do is we'll just roll to the end of the level. We'll pick up some more cash. And we're now at a point where we're too big to get down this path. So what we've got to do is back up a little bit, shrink down using the shrink system that we have. The mechanic is to shrink. Shrinking costs part of your score. And part of what we're trying to sort of explore is whether it's better for players to sort of stop playing earlier on, or whether continuing, or whether they're sort of prepared to continue playing and go for the long big payday. So if we roll to the end of the level, you can see that we get a new level. So we're now on level 2. We've got $720, and we've got another arrow and another level to move through. So in this room we've got 3 pieces of cash and a mine. The mine is slightly free floating, it's wandering about a little bit inside this room, and you can see that it's not the kind of thing that you want to touch. So we'll just roll down to the end, and we're presented with another level. All these levels that are coming up are being procedurally generated. So nothing in terms of level design has been pre-done. It's all being generated on the fly. So that's being created using some techniques that I've put together. And what we're working towards now, what we've actually got in development, is a process for scaling difficulty on the fly, so that as we go through the levels that are being generated, the parameters for that generation change. So at some point we're going to get to a point where maybe we don't want to risk carrying on anymore. Maybe we get to a point where we don't want to risk touching the mines and losing our score. So we'll go for the cash out option. And if we cash out, then we can see that, okay, well, we've got 1,420, and that's not a high score for me, and that's the leaderboard there. Currently, there's only the 2 of us playing it, obviously. And we have the option to play again. So if we had run into the mine, then we would have lost all of the score, and that would have been game over. So really the idea is at what point you should cash out and whether it's worth going for it. So in a way you could almost think of it as a casual Facebook implementation of kind of the core principles that drove the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game. There's a public beta of this coming very shortly, and that's what we're working towards. That's why we're putting this video out, to give you a sense for what we're actually doing behind the scenes here. So If this kind of gameplay, if the kind of thing that we're showing you here is of interest, please do keep an eye out for this public beta, because we are looking for feedback and we do want to get you guys playing the game and telling us what you think to it. So thank you very much for your time. This has been Developer Diary number 1 for easy money, and hopefully we'll think of something else to do for number 2. See you next time.